Raise your hand if you've ever felt blindsided by your HOA. You know the feeling when you open up your statement, look at your HOA bill, and just shook your head? Our HOA went from $282 to $450, and honestly, not much has improved. The pool stayed closed most of the summer. The gate still has issues when it rains, and everything else feels about the same. Now imagine paying $1,000 a month in HOA fees on top of your mortgage, insurance, and everything else.
Well, imagine your HOA fees going from $400 a month to more than $2,000 a month just a couple of years later.
Yeah, that's what's happening to some residents at a local condo complex right now.
Moran owns a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo here at the Winter Park Woods. She says since buying the unit in 2022, she's put a lot of work into the space.
Renovated it, gutted both bathrooms, gutted the kitchen, repainted everything, redid all the trim, the doors, everything.
During that time, she says their HOA fees have skyrocketed. In the meantime, they haven't seen any significant improvements around the property.
The HOA fees, what were they when you moved in?
$400 a month.
And what are they now?
$2,081 going into 2025.
That's what's happening all across Florida and really the entire U.S. Families are being forced to sell their homes not because they can't afford the mortgage, but because the HOA fees have gotten out of control. They're being forced to make tough choices. Stay, sell, or start over. Let's be honest, HOAs were designed to make life easier. They're supposed to keep things organized, maintain the community, and protect property values. Lately, it feels like homeowners are paying more and getting less. All across the country, HOA dues are climbing faster than ever. And in some neighborhoods, they've doubled or tripled in the past year. And many homeowners don't even know why they're paying more.
We got a special assessment, so it's $708 for the next 4 months, and then it'll go back down to $603 a month. 2, the pool is closed. Apparently Miami-Dade closed it down because they said it was unsafe. 3, I'm hearing that 2 people have tripped in the community and broken bones because of the concrete and the sidewalks are uneven. And just over time, the community has run down. Like, it needs to be painted, it needs pressure washing, the concrete areas need to be fixed, the pools need to be fixed. And it's like, what am I paying all this money for if I can't even feel safe in my community where I'm walking outside at night and, uneven ground and things like that?
Afford HOA. However, you may be thinking $365, like I've heard worse HOA fees. Okay, we don't have a pool. We don't even have a playground. I barely have trees in my backyard. My yard is the size of a toddler's sandbox, okay? The only thing it covers basically is landscaping. So you want to know what I did? I took the matter into my own hands and I was like, I want to be on the board. I want to be on the HOA board because I want to. Can we at least get dog poop bags and some garbage bins?
That's not what people signed up for when they bought their dream home. So many homeowners everywhere are sharing horror stories. Fees jumping from $500 to $1,300 a month with no receipts. HOA presidents sending $10,000 fines for property violations. One man in Georgia received a $137,000 fine with no explanation at all.
Bigfield community in Loganville, east of Atlanta, concerns with their own HOA president. Frank Bosa.
She sent me a bill that I owe her $137,000.
You heard that right, $137,768.
We have no idea what this fine is for.
I have no idea. My attorney also said there's no indication of any violation.
But Bosa believes
she is interested in taking over my house.
And with an HOA fine more than $2,000 and a 30-day notice, that's legal in Georgia.
I will fight for my house because it's a dream for me and my family.
Some homeowners even said they had to install cameras, not for burglars, but to protect themselves from their own HOA president.
I always check my camera around the house.
Installing cameras not because of crime,
bullied harassment.
but concerns with their own HOA president.
That's not community living, that's more like chaos. Then there are new communities which are popping up everywhere. Beautiful homes, great layouts, shiny new amenities. But here's something a lot of buyers don't realize. The HOA fee you're quoted before moving in isn't always what you pay after. While builders manage the community, fees often stay low. But once control transitions to a management company or a resident board, those numbers can climb fast, especially if they're catching up on reserves and repairs. That's why it's so important for buyers to ask early. What's included in the HOA? What do reserves look like? And are there any planned projects that could raise costs later? A beautiful home is great, but if HOA keeps climbing every year, that affordable move-in price doesn't stay affordable for long. All right, so let's break it down because these increases don't just happen out of thin air. Here are the biggest reasons HOA fees are skyrocketing right now. First, inflation. Everything costs more. Landscaping, garbage pickup, pest control, pool supplies, insurance, all of it. And then there's insurance and state requirements. In Florida and other states, new laws now require HOAs, especially condos, to keep full financial reserves. That came after the Surfside condo collapse in 2021, which led lawmakers to tighten building and reserve standards statewide. It's meant to protect homeowners, but it also means major fee hikes to build those reserves quickly. And then there's poor financial management. Some HOAs don't really plan ahead. They keep fees too low for years, and then they hit homeowners with these huge catch-up assessments. And then you have special assessments. These are the surprise bills for repairs that were not budgeted, like roof replacement, gate system, or landscaping overhauls. This is the killer. Imagine a $5,000 bill surprise because the roof fund wasn't managed correctly. I've seen homeowners get hit with $5,000, $10,000, even $20,000 assessments, and no real breakdown of where the money is going. That's not just an inconvenience, that's a financial crisis waiting to happen. Now let's talk about established neighborhoods. The ones that look beautiful from the outside, but the homeowners are quietly feeling the squeeze. Between rising insurance, utilities, and HOA fees, some families are spending over $4,000 a month just to stay afloat. Here's what a lot of people don't realize. Two homes can be identical. Same price, same square footage. But if one has a $150 HOA and the other has $800 HOA, guess which one sells first? And in some places, the difference can happen in the same community. For instance, in my community, there are multiple HOAs, and each section pays a different amount for access to the same amenities. So even though the homes look similar, one owner might be paying hundreds more for the exact same pool or park. And buyers notice that it's one of those hidden details that can make or break a sale. And most homeowners don't even realize it until their house hits the market. That's how high fees quietly drive down home values, even in beautiful communities. I really do love my community, the people, the environment, the sense of home, but sometimes it feels like the costs keep climbing while the improvements stay still. You start to look around and think, where is all the money really going? Because when neighbors talk, we tend to all have the same questions. What exactly are we paying for and what's actually changing? And it's not just here. Homeowners all across Florida are all seeing the same thing. The bills rise faster than the benefits. That's why staying informed is so important. When you understand what's behind those numbers, you can protect your home and your peace of mind. Let's put this in perspective. Say your mortgage payment is $2,500 a month. That sounds manageable, right? But here's what most people don't realize. That number doesn't include your HOA. Now, let's say your HOA is $600 a month. Now, add that extra $600 a month. That's an additional $7,200 a year just going towards your HOA. That could have been money for savings, maybe a family trip, or maybe even for your home repairs and maintenance. And for buyers, that $600 difference in HOA fees every month can actually lower how much home they can afford. So when you think about it that way, HOA fees don't just raise your expenses. They can quietly lower your home value and the number of people who can afford to buy it. If you're a seller, remember, high fees can scare buyers away or shrink their budget, which means your home could sit longer on the market or sell for less than expected. And when that starts happening across the whole neighborhood, everyone's property value suffers. Now, before you decide whether to stay or sell, it really helps to see what homes around you are actually selling for and how those HOA fees are changing prices. I'm always tracking what's happening right here in Florida, especially in Miami. And once you see the difference, it might surprise you. If you would like a quick look at what your neighborhood is selling for, just drop a comment that says market update. Or send me a quick message and I'll share what I'm seeing in your area. Behind every fee increase is a family that feels trapped and confused. I've talked to homeowners who feel like they can't afford to sell, but they also can't keep paying the rising dues. Some are retirees, some people are just on a fixed income, some are young families just trying to make ends meet. And then there are others who simply don't want to keep paying higher HOA fees when they don't even see real improvements. Like the gym equipment is outdated, the playground needs to be fixed, the clubhouse is always closed. And they always seem to promise to upgrade things, but it never happens. And the sad part is people have worked their whole lives to pay off their homes, only to risk losing them over unpaid HOA fees or liens. That is not the kind of community care people expect when they sign up for an HOA. Now, before you get too discouraged, here's the good news. Homeowners can push back and take control. Here are 4 simple steps to protect yourself. First, show up to meetings. That's where budgets and change happen. Do not skip them. Ask for financial transparency. You have the right to see how the money is being managed. Get involved. Join a committee or board if you can. Also, talk to your neighbors and find out what concerns they share. Start a small support or community group so you can stay connected and team up when issues arise. In my community, we use the Nextdoor app. We typically use it when things aren't being done, just to ask the neighbors questions or to discuss changes we've seen or heard. And you'll be surprised how many people, even board members, are on there. Talking to your neighbors in person and online, and also going to meetings, is one of the best ways to stay informed and make sure your voice is heard. The more involved you are, the more influence you have, because your voice truly matters. Next is to keep records. Save every email, letter, or notice that they sent you, because it's very important. Documentation protects you. If things ever get out of hand, don't panic. Get legal or professional advice before you stop paying fees. Remember, you don't want to stop paying your fees until you figure out what your options are. Because if you stop paying your fees, they can put a lien on your property, and that can become complicated very fast. HOAs were created to protect property values and create some peace of mind. But somewhere along the way, the purpose got lost. Now, for many homeowners, those fees are becoming a burden. And as the costs keep climbing, the best thing we can do is stay aware. Stay active and stop waiting for someone else to step in. Because when homeowners speak up, get informed, and start sharing what's really happening, that's when things start to change. HOA fees are just one piece of a bigger puzzle. Families everywhere are working hard, budgeting carefully, just doing everything right, and still they're falling behind. And it's not because they're careless. It's because there are hidden costs quietly draining homeowners every single month. The kind that don't show up until it's almost too late. In my next video, we're going to break down the hidden costs bankrupting homeowners. And believe me, you won't believe what they are. Because understanding these costs isn't just about saving money. It's about protecting your home, your family, and the peace you've worked so hard to build. If this video opened your eyes or helped you in any way, hit that like button and share it with another homeowner. And let's start changing the conversation one story at a time. Before we end, I just want to remind you, even when finances feel unpredictable, God's provision never wavers. Psalms 37:19-20 says, "In times of disaster, they will not wither. In days of famine, they will enjoy plenty." Even when the numbers don't add up, God still multiplies peace, opportunity, and strength in ways we can't see. So, as you face these rising costs and decisions, hold on to your faith, because you're not walking through it alone. Your home, your hope, and your future are still in His hands.